Bubblullorian energy. So there's this crazy place in the Land of Ardithian called Bubblullloria. It's all about bubbles. I'm fascinated by bubbles. I collect glass orbs and spheres. I have been fascinated by spheres and marbles my entire life. It is just one of those objects of delight that make me happy as a human being to know that they exist. I love putting them in my hand, putting them in my pockets, and as I was thinking about creating this world, I knew that that structure and that object had to play a big role, simply because from a childhood perspective, they're little orbs of, wonderful. Bubblullloria is a crazy place where the children, like characters, float around in bubbles. The bubbles are all about the energy. There's different types of bubbles for different types of energy. If you are sad, you can find some energy of happy. If you're a bit off the chain, you can find some energy of calm. And all of the different energy spheres will have a different color. Some will be transparent, some will be opaque. They'll collide into one another. But the place itself, it's all about the bubbles. There's bubbles on cars, there's bubbles on clothes, there's bubbles that they float in, there's bubbles on the streets. They can blow bubbles. It is a crazy, outrageous place visually, because how many different ways can you incorporate spheres and bubbles into the physical structure of a place, along with the energy, along with the way the characters look. Yeah, it's super fun. So the energy of this was very much about the spheres, and I wanted to incorporate that into opaque, insinuated bubbles, not directly bubbles that you would blow from soap. There's a part of that in all of these, but this energy that exists, the variety, the differences, and how the sizes and the shapes and the colors, and some are darker than others, because some of the energy that is spherical and floats around may not be the energy you want to grab a hold of, and some of it may be exactly what you need depending on what your problem is. Also too, Bubblullorians love creatively problem solving with other friends they meet in the Land of Ardithian. A big part of this is there's not a ton of animosity between the different groups of entities. The problems in the world exist because the natural world should be respected, and kids don't always think sometimes before they act, and it just causes delightful problems in figuring out how to exist in a world where nature is respected, but they also can build beautiful lives within their communities. Bubblullloria is kind of a place like that. It's directly related to what I find fascinating from a child up to my inner child, but it's also a visually stunning place in my head of how I can construct all of these things. It all begins with the energy though. So the energy of Bubblullloria, it's all about the bubbles.